What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week Zero podcast.
Jackson rolling out, 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against a tire defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. Empty look for Richardson. Oh, that is danger! Oh my! Keidron Smith cuts inside, and he's gonna pick six it in the swamp. Cat scratch fever Smith.
DJ is picked off, intercepted again by Benjamin Morrison. Here goes Morrison down the sideline. Can he go? Yes, he can. Touchdown, pick six, Benjamin Morrison. Nix drops back underneath. Touchdown, Bucks. Wow. Chase Taylor.
Welcome to the Week Zero Pod. Why am I muted? I'm muted right. My computer's so damn slow. Welcome to the Week Zero Podcast, where Ryan's backdrop is very impressive. Damn, dude.
Thank you.
So you got LeBron in the corner there. You got the photo of our poster right there. Sweet. And then you got all these helmets. So what is that? Is that Illinois and then Notre Dame, and then is that your high school team?
So my high school helmet. So we had two different helmet variations. So I had, if I could get this.
You're on the wrong way. There you go.
That is my junior helmet, and then on top is my senior helmet. So
you're right. Is your junior helmet? Is that an offensive lineman like mask? Because that looks like a big.
No, mask. It's a full cage because I wore it because I was a running back. So it was what was left, so I just took it. Oh my God.
You had an offensive lineman head. You had an offensive lineman. Meanwhile, I've finally hung the Vic jersey, and I still have that damn rug just in my corner. And I still have a bunch of stuff on my floor because there's no storage in my place at all.
The other helmet over here is my Illinois State lacrosse helmet when I played for the Redbirds.
Oh, nice. That's kind of cool that you got to keep your helmets from high school, because even when I played, I didn't get to keep the helmets even for like my fresh soft team. But that's fresh soft, it's whatever. So, Lucas, did you keep any of your helmets from like high school football?
No, mine were all like brand new Flex Speeds. Like they weren't gonna let us keep those. They were expensive.
Yeah, right. Ryan, the only reason they let him keep the only reason you got to keep
they let us all keep ours. Even like a lot of times, like we had the brand new ones too. They let us keep them all. We just had to pay for them.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna get their money anyway.
Yeah,
and I like the American outfit that Josh is all dressed up in.
We did not coordinate this.
Yeah, we did not.
No, that was totally unplanned. But how you guys been doing? It's been 2 weeks. Finally feels like we've actually all been together because I feel like it's been a bit. How you guys doing?
It's good. Doing well. Ready for college football season, man. Only a few more days.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
who are here to actually watch part of the game tonight between the Browns?
I'm going to watch the whole
very
thing.
good.
I got a bet on it.
You got to bet. Oh my God, you made a preseason football?
Yeah, dude. Prize Picks.
You know what you need?
Prize Picks. Prize Picks. Sponsor us, please. Please sponsor us. I use you guys way too much. I need a sponsor so I can throw some bets at this thing. You guys pay me. I don't got to worry about the money. It's a great thing. Drake does it. He throws a bunch of money into betting that isn't his money. It's given to him. So,
and I mean, it's perfect that it's perfect. We're talking about the Big Ten, and there's been that was it the Iowa kicker?
No, Iowa State quarterback.
No, it was a kicker. I thought he was a kicker.
Hunter Deckers. No, it's the quarterback.
Oh, well.
You're thinking about Dicker the kicker. That's who you're thinking about.
No, I swear there was a.
No, Hunter Assalley was the one from Iowa State.
What now?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That boy ain't right.
I would bully that kid for that.
No, here it is. Iowa backup kicker accused of approximately 170 sports bets, including betting the under for the Seahawks.
What's up with betting?
Cyclones Hawks game.
Hold on.
You know what's funny is that I'm pretty sure Iowa
kicker.
I'm pretty sure betting like just became legal in Iowa like 2 years ago or whatever.
No,
So-
see, look.
So 140.
I'm not going
Look,
nuts.
it's right there. Iowa
both.
backup kicker.
Oh,
No, I saw
Nobody
the
It's
the
both.
quarterback one.
The Hunter Decker
Yeah,
is
the
from
kicker-
Iowa State.
Guys,
the kicker was just broke yesterday.
Guys.
Okay.
To be fair,
But-
Iowa State under is just free money.
I mean, it's also called
It just is.
it's also called El Asico, so that just shows that just proves what people think of it anyway. So
But anyway, Connor, are you going to read our names for the people?
yes,
Kings of the Cold
So-
Open, everyone. Nobody does it better than the
Wait.
Week Zero podcast.
Yeah. Great code open. Code that it is. It's like we have our own group things. Like the opening, we never have a proper code opening. I don't list the names, and we
Connor,
have to
Connor,
go back
you
and
just
be reminded.
Connor, I'm just firmly convinced that you just have ADD.
You just now
Firmly
are figuring
convinced.
that out.
No,
You're now
it has
being
been,
convinced now.
it's been blatantly apparent.
I've always had ADHD.
Oh, see, there it is. All right.
I literally was diagnosed with it in like elementary school, dude. Like,
What a
But-
loser!
Somebody can't sit in their chair.
a young boy has too much energy. Let's give it a disease.
Let's give him some Ritalin.
Let's say he has a
kid
disease to calm his ass,
Yes.
just so we can give him a bunch of drugs to calm his ass down.
Oh,
So
my
I'm your
God.
host, Connor at Let's Go Terps Doherty. To my left is Ryan Spencer Petrus for Heisman.
Spencer
Fravel.
Petras for Heisman.
Peter, what the fuck his name is. Below me is JJ McCarthy, somehow speaking to us from a house in Oregon instead of
It is
talking-
JJ McCarthy. Love
It
it.
is JJ McCarthy.
Lover.
It was
Yes.
JJ McCarthy pretending to be Dan Lanning, who also owns Colorado.
Dan Lanning
and then-
does own Colorado. He owns the entire state, including the college.
And then of course the All-American Josh Kyle McCrapp.
Crap.
Crap.
Sorry, dude.
He's also dyslexic.
I do not think he's going to be crap, but he is not going to be that good.
Who? Wait,
Dude,
who's it
I've
for?
literally spent.
Kyle McCord.
Oh,
I've literally
McCord.
spent the last. I've literally spent like what?
Oh,
I've literally
Jesus.
spent the last 5.5 hours staring at a computer screen, editing videos and writing scripts. So my apologies if I'm, the screen is causing me to not be able to see right because
He's
I'm
got
starting.
ADHD and he's dyslexic, y'all.
Yep,
You're not
dyslexic people, untie.
Fantastic.
Yes, and of course we
Let me
have
get
our
my-
sponsor, W Energy. Oh,
It's
beautiful.
good stuff, man. It's good.
Actually, you
You
know
wanna
what, Connor? I think
you
we
wanna
need to
take
let
over,
Josh.
Josh?
Yeah, let Josh do it.
Josh needs to read it. Josh
all
reads
right,
this
let
shit
me-
so good.
Let me go on and take over. Okay, so before I found Dubby, and really Dubby found us. Let's be honest here. Before we found Dubby, every day I was going to a gas station, whatever, getting energy drinks. Big name brand kind of stuff. It winds you up, but then it lets you down. It's not very good for you, and you feel kind of bad afterwards. Not with Dubby. It's a much cleaner way to get your caffeine and your energy. I don't know how they do it. They manage to taste amazing while also making sure that the energy it's not a gut punch. It's like a nice tailwind. Just pushes you on, and it's fantastic. And I can't say enough good things about W Energy. You can get it at their website, w.gg. They will ship it out to you. Use code WEEK0 at checkout for 10% off. That takes 10% off of your entire order at W. And just give them a try. Give them a try. They got sample packs. You don't even have to spend a whole lot of money. Just go get you a sample pack. At least give them a try. They're fantastic. I think you'll find yourself going back. I really do.
And if nothing else, you can mix it with your alcohol. As Lucas did.
Don't do that. I never did it. It was a lie. It was all a lie.
Oh, it was a
Don't do
lie.
That's probably not a good thing. Your heart will explode.
Also, straight up, Lucas, when it came back, my computer is so slow it froze on you for some reason. You're just like this. The entire for like yeah, you were looking.
If I could freeze frames.
No, man.
So, what are you doing today? We are ranking. Oh, let me share my screen.
12 minutes into the show, everybody.
12 minutes into the show.
That's
Guys,
how we
are
operate.
the kings of cold open. The absolute. Nobody does it better. I refuse to believe that anyone can do this better.
I mean, yeah.
So what are we looking at right now, Connor?
We are looking at the 14 starting quarterbacks, or at least predicted starting quarterbacks, depending on some of the schools, for the Big Ten teams.
This
And of
might
course we
be quite literally
12 through 14.
the worst conference of quarterbacks.
It's possible.
Honestly,
Like, this
it
is
could be.
bad.
It's possible.
Can we just all say that? Can we all agree that probably the top is Tualia
We all
and
agree
JJ
that
McCarthy
I
at
don't
the
wanna-
top at
Yes.
some point?
Yeah.
Like that for the rest of
agree.
the show.
But-
so I
Are we
can-
just gonna put them in the top, or are we just gonna
Yeah,
go
let's
from the bottom?
build up from the bottom.
Just put
We know
JJ
who's up
there.
top.
Oh my goodness.
Just put JJ McCarthy at the top.
Put JJ up there.
Just put him at 1.
We already know he's won.
It's not
And
even
then Tualia
close.
is 2. I think it's
Yes, he
Tualia
is.
2. And
I believe
I
that.
disagree.
I absolutely.
I
believe
disagree
that.
too.
are you kidding me?
I think
No.
no. Who do you
I
Who
think
do you
it's-
think?
I think it's what's his fuck from Michigan? The kid that started over JJ McCarthy that's now the quarterback at Iowa?
Cade? No.
Cade
I
in
don't know
Iowa?
that.
Cade
No,
McNamara?
The guy that went to the college football playoff 2 years ago as a starting quarterback?
at
Yeah,
Iowa?
dude.
No.
Who got
You know who
absolutely
I
blown
actually-
out and made it look like they didn't belong? That guy?
Who
By
are you
the
saying
team that we've
McCord?
had in the last generation? I don't. Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm-
Wait.
I'm
What do you
not
guys
taking
think about?
Cade.
Last year's
What
Georgia
do you
team?
guys think?
I don't-
What do you guys think about Drew Aller?
Drew Aller?
He hasn't.
Yeah.
Did he start it all?
He's a
Does he have
5-star
any-
quarterback. He was a 5-star quarterback in last year's class.
Okay,
Let's start at 14.
Does he have any stats? Let's just start.
Let's
let's
just
go
go
start
back
at
to
14.
14
Start at
and then
14.
we'll work our way through.
Okay. Should it just be whoever is the starting quarterback for Rutgers? Because
No, the Rutgers quarterback's actually pretty good.
I just
that's
think
him
we
right there,
should
Gavin.
go-
Gavin Wimsatt.
He's actually really
Wimsatt.
good.
All right, who's the first kid from Michigan or
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
It's like Ethan. I can't even pronounce his last name. It's really
He
long.
started
Starts with a
last
K.
year.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Started last year.
He beat out Tanner Morgan. If you guys remember who that is.
He beat him out. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Spring quarterback reviews, quarterback
I
roster.
can't remember his name. It's like Ethan.
Ethan
something.
Caliac Manis.
Caliac Manis.
Caliac Manis.
Cadillac
Cadillac
Menace.
Caliac Manis.
Cadillac
Mantis. Got it. We got it.
All right, Cadillac Mantis. Last year, he finished the season with 946 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
So it
6'4",
sounds like he only played like
210
two.
sophomore.
How many
played-
games is that? 2 games.
He played
3 games?
in 5 games. He went 4-1 in those games. I don't know if he
3-2.
started them all.
3-2 as a starter.
Oh, they ran a lot when he played.
Well,
So
because
real quick,
they had Mo Ibrahim, so that's why they
guys,
ran.
hold on a
They
minute.
didn't have to pass.
So I just pulled up like the actual Big Ten rankings for this year
Oh, Lord.
that they did. They have the Tennessee transfer that transferred into Tennessee, or to Indiana, I mean, as the number 14 quarterback in the Big Ten.
Tavon
Okay, I don't care about
Tavon
that.
Jackson.
Yeah, and then
Who'd
they have
you pull up? What do you?
it's Fan Nation. They do like the actual beat writers for the Big Ten. They did a Big Ten preseason.
It's like a poll between all of the beat.
So Noah Kim for Michigan State's 13.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about them. So this kid, Ethan, he only had 111 attempts last year, which is not very much in 5 games. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would put him pretty low based off of what I'm seeing, off of what he did last year.
Are we going to 12 to 14 low?
I mean, I would put him in the 12.
What about the Michigan State quarterback? You guys?
Let's just go down the list. Okay, so the next guy.
So this is Bryant. So this is Ben Bryant for Northwestern, transfer from Cincinnati.
He was the starting quarterback at Cincinnati last year.
I think he's probably much higher. Yeah, he's much higher. This kid's actually pretty good.
6 to 8. Do you want to say 6 to 8?
Maybe even higher than that, Loki.
4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Ben Bryant? In 2022, Ben Bryant.
No. I was wrong. He had 2,700. I had that mixed up with Helsinki.
2,732 yards. He had 21 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Year before that,
6 to 8. Yes, sir.
The year before that, he had 3,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 picks. So he's getting better as years are going.
Okay.
I know it's a different team,
I'll say we can kind of put them when we want, then we can move them around. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now we got
this is Cade McNamara.
I think he has to be in the. If you guys aren't going to put him in 1 to 2, you got to put him.
I don't think he's in. I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's better than. I don't think he's there.
Yeah.
This is Drew Aller.
He's top 5.
I don't.
Hey guys,
it's so weird. It's also super weird that Sean Clifford's not going to be there.
If we're looking at like what he can be, he's the most talented Penn State quarterback recruit, I think, in program history.
Okay, can we take a timeout to realize that we are not on Maze Madman right now?
What do you mean?
I mean, as far as where we're broadcasting. What do you mean by that? What you trying to say?
We're not broadcasting. We're not broadcasting on Phil's
for some reason.
Oh, we can't.
It said it was deleted because
we should have gotten Phil to join us. I just realized that.
Oh, you could re-add it. Try re-adding it.
That's what I'm doing. There we go. It is re-added.
Okay. Are we live?
I mean, he's other than he's the one guy because was he a redshirt freshman last year? He's a redshirt freshman this year.
Yes, he would become. He's coming into his redshirt freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
he's a sophomore, but obviously
does he have any stats at all? Did he play at all?
No. Okay. I don't think he played a down. He was the number one. I mean, it's just hard for me to say that he's better than someone that's actually played college football. But based off of these quarterbacks, I guess I won't disagree too much with Ryan.
I
put him at 5.
People are saying like a lot of writers think they're very high on him.
I'd put him at 5. Yeah, I mean he's projected a first-round pick. I mean he was the number 1 quarterback in his class, number 3 player overall. Like, I mean, can't argue with that.
The only reason he didn't start last year was because of Sean Clifford,
which is kind of surprising because Clifford was ass at times. Like, I already looked at.
Yeah.
Oof. So okay, this is.
He was only asked in 2 games, and those are 2 games that lost.
Who is this?
Gavin
Wimsatt.
He won Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year.
Gavin.
So I think he didn't start all year last year for Rutgers. He came in kind of midway, but he won Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
I think it's WIMSA.
So he's a good runner. He's a good runner with the football. Clearly, no, he's not. Never mind. So he had not good stats at all. He had worse stats than the old boy from Minnesota.
He didn't start the entire year though.
He played. Okay. He played in the same amount of games as the kid from Minnesota did, and he had more attempts, less yards, and 5 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's thrown 5 touchdowns to 9 interceptions in his career.
Okay.
14.
I like him at 12 or 14. 12, 13, or 14.
I don't like
Is he,
that.
is he last?
No.
Ryan, statistically, how can you argue with that?
He won Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Then clearly there weren't very many good freshmen.
No, dude. Like, I've read so much about this guy. A lot of people are very high.
Gavin Wimsatt?
And I'm looking at his statistics right now.
Yes.
I'm looking at his stats right now. How can you say he was good?
Okay.
He lost 5 straight games.
Okay, put him in the
Rutgers.
9 to 11 range because I think he's a solid quarterback.
No,
He's also playing at Rutgers. I mean,
that's his.
And the
that's
Minnesota
his,
guy had better stats and they run the ball every game.
That's his dumbass decision.
Every play.
Whoa.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Wow.
Wait a
Whoa.
minute. Wait, hold on.
Shots at Rutgers.
Whoa. Yeah, we don't take shots at players. Come on.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
That's
Phil,
out of line, Connor.
this is
that
where
is
I
out
need
of
Phil
line.
on here because Phil is also very high on Gavin Wimsatt, and he's a Michigan guy.
Okay.
I don't care.
Cool.
So go ahead. I mean,
He's
12,
also a
14,
Rutgers
whatever.
quarterback.
I think he's in that 9 to 11 range personally.
I don't think we
But
found
what?
one in there
Here,
yet.
Okay.
I'm
This
pulling up the
We're
Trump
not going
hands.
to argue about it.
I'm pulling up Trump hands. Why?
Everything I've seen about him, there's a lot of hype around him.
Why?
Ask the people that are writing about how he's going to be so good this year.
Okay.
Okay.
This
Cool.
next is Hudson
Yes.
Card.
Oh, he's up there.
Purdue.
6 to 8.
Hard.
Hudson's got to be probably. I would put him at like 7. No, I mean
I'm thinking
9 to 11 maybe actually.
7.
You're that low on him?
Well,
I
how about
mean,
how
he
about name the next guy and then we can go from there.
Okay, who's the
Okay.
next? Who's this kid?
Jeff Sims from Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah, shoot.
At Nebraska.
Top
Dude,
five.
I would almost put him at 4.
Nebraska?
Top 5.
I would put him
I-
at 4. in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I think
Top
he's
5.
a beast.
Huh?
I'm gonna just because of potential. I think he's probably
Josh,
there.
just think about how bad the quarterbacks are coming up.
Well,
I mean, Kyle
this
McCord.
Is, this is Kyle McCord. at
Kyle
Ohio
McCord,
State.
I would say, has to be probably what? Because what was he?
Kyle McCord.
Would you want to put him at 6?
Probably.
Yeah. 6.
What? He hasn't played it down in college football.
Yes, he has.
Can we talk
Oh.
about your Penn State boy?
Yes, he
Okay,
has.
wait a minute,
He
wait.
didn't play a meaningful.
He played against
amount of
Akron.
football. He
played
didn't play a
against Akron.
meaningful.
Just
played
because
multiple
of that,
times.
just because of that, should we put McCord ahead of Drew just because he's actually played
Yes.
No.
in
Yes.
No.
That's-
Yes.
I mean,
He's gonna have a
yes.
better season than him.
No, he won't.
Yes, he will.
Penn State's could possibly make the Big Ten championship.
Yeah,
Okay.
so did Iowa.
Ohio State is favored to win it.
And I think
They
Penn
are
State
favored.
beats Ohio State.
Okay,
Okay.
regardless
That
of what you
doesn't matter.
think.
Anyway, okay. Who do we got next? The Illinois quarterback?
That is where's his name? Luke
I got his name. Yeah.
Altmaier.
But you got him.
Luke
He's
Altmaier.
Ole
Well,
Miss
he's
transfer.
Ole Miss transfer.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, I feel like he has to go there just
9
by
or
the
10.
numbers. Okay, Noah Kim.
He's in the
Michigan
bottom
State.
14.
Yes, he's down there. Absolutely.
What's his name?
Okay,
Noah
this-
Kim.
Noah
Yeah.
Kim. He's
He's
got 0 starts,
yes.
and he'll be playing for
Is
Michigan
he a
State.
freshman?
Red shirt.
Look,
I
he has a
believe.
photo there. So probably a red shirt.
Red shirt junior. No
Yeah,
starts.
He was a.
You know what?
Okay,
Honestly, as I'm
next.
starting to look at this, Ben Bryant should be top 6. I'm just starting like
Well, actually, this guy actually probably should, and I feel like
Tanner
he would
Mordecai.
better than him. Tanner Mordecai.
Oh
Wisconsin.
yeah.
I
He's higher
feel like
than
he
that.
should be there. I feel like it should be like
No,
I
if
would
he
bring
brings up
down.
anyone-
I would bring down
Card.
Hudson Card.
Mm-hmm.
Hudson Card. Okay.
And put Ben Bryant over the Penn State kid.
Oh, you guys are just disrespectful.
And pots and pans in the background.
What happened? Did
Oh,
did,
no.
Did it pot?
No, I just heard like pots and pans falling in the background.
Is that? I heard them too, but I wasn't sure if that was.
That
you
was
or-
not a
or-
sound effect. No, sir.
No, but that was behind. That was somewhere
All
in
right.
your
Anyway,
kitchen.
where are we putting the Tennessee quarterback or the former Tennessee quarterback that had no starts?
Tennessee quarterback who has no starts.
What's his name?
Put-
Tavon Jackson.
I mean, if we're going truly based off of stats, I think this Kim guy is above. It should be in the 9 through 11.
Well, then he would be 11, wouldn't he?
He would be 11, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this looks.
I would
more
put
right.
I would put the Rutgers quarterback and the Minnesota quarterback ahead of Tavon because they've played.
I agree.
This kid has not played.
I would put him last.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name again? Sorry.
Tavon Jackson or Gavin Wimsatt?
Hold on.
What his name is?
Tavon Jackson.
Tavion Jackson.
Tayvon. He transferred from Tennessee
Tavion.
because he's behind Milton, so he's not going to play
just-
at all.
Or Taven Jackson. So, and actually, he wouldn't be the starter for Indiana this year if Dexter Williams didn't get injured last year, according to Indiana. So yeah, he would be the backup.
Okay. Well, boys, do we like how it looks?
Well, let's go through the 12 through 14.
Yeah, let's.
Okay. Tavon Jackson, Gavin Wimsatt,
Read off the
Ethan,
what we think they are while you're reading them too.
Killanis. Okay, so Indiana quarterback. What do you guys? How do you guys think he's going to do?
Clearly hasn't played.
He hasn't played. He's only starting because someone else is injured. At least that's the story.
Yep.
Do I think he's going to end?
Coming from.
Do we think he's going to end in the 12 to 14 range? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I would say starting the season in the 12 to 14, ending the season he'll be in the 12 to 14.
Yeah.
All right.
Wimsatt, do you? I guess.
I'm very high on
Ryan
him
is hoping
personally.
You're high on him. You're hoping he's going to actually do something good, despite having
the
very
defending
bad
Big Ten
numbers.
freshman of the year. I think he's gonna, one more year.
That's rough, buddy.
So.
Golf clap for the
Golf clap
impressiveness
for freshman of the year who's no longer a freshman. I think I like him where he's at. I think if some people think he's got a high side, maybe he can make it to the top half of quarterbacks in the Big Ten. But
I think his ceiling is 6 to 8. Like that's as far as he could go.
Yeah. I think he's good where he's at for now.
I think this guy, because he's not going to have Mo Ibrahim to rely on anymore, he's going to be asked to do a lot, and I feel like he's going to have maybe better numbers, but I don't know.
Right,
those numbers did not sound very good.
I'm sorry to
honestly
rain on your parade, but he was not the freshman of the year.
I don't know where I saw that. Then I thought he won Big Ten freshman.
All right.
Who's the freshman of the year then?
Here.
Now we're just,
Real quick,
it was you want to make a guess?
Alex
clear.
Singleton.
It was clearly the best.
Nicholas Singleton.
Yeah.
Nick Singleton.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The running back for Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Kid is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think he's going to be better than Saquon.
Ooh.
It's possible.
All right. Anyway, let's go to 9 to 11.
Okay.
How do we want to rank
Noah
these?
Kim, I guess the only thing he can be happy about is that, one, he's going to be the starting quarterback, and two, that Michigan State has a new football facility named after Tom Izzo. So,
Okie dokie.
What is it? The
Yeah,
That
Izzo
makes sense.
it's literally called the Tom Izzo Football Building.
That makes sense.
Hell yeah.
Make that make sense.
$78 million, and that's what they name it.
Wait,
With
they
70?
named it the Izzoplex?
78 million. Huh?
Hey,
Hey.
I can't
Okay.
call it the is.
Hey, man, Notre Dame's athletic plex is called the Goog. So,
Oh, boy.
Good.
the Goog.
Tom
Okay.
is Tom Izzo
Okay.
the one that got in trouble for some shit?
I don't
Yeah, he
remember.
did.
He's the basketball coach. So
Yeah, he's a basketball coach. That's why I said it didn't make sense.
But anyway, what do we think?
Yeah, it
about
doesn't make sense. But to be fair, hey, he hasn't
To be
thrown an
fair.
interception in his career. He's the only
Yeah,
guy
fair.
on this list.
That is,
Just
you
saying.
know what?
Just saying.
Goated on the stat. There we go.
okay, Ryan, as an Illinois fan,
I'm
kind
not
of.
an Illinois fan.
Ow. Well, what do you have on him?
I don't know too much about him. He's not. He's no whatever the guy's name that started for Illinois last year. You
Woof.
remember who that was?
Yeah,
He's
it
from
was,
Michigan.
I thought Illinois was nice
Yeah,
last
they
year.
were, but they lost Chase. Or What kind
Yeah,
of
Chase
Remember the
Brown.
name?
Chase Brown.
And they lost Isaiah Williams,
Okay.
and they lost their starting quarterback. So this guy evidently was a 4-star recruit for Ole Miss, just never seen playing time. So we'll see. We'll see what he got. But right now, I think Hudson Card's better.
He threw 17 passes last year.
Okay. Next guy.
Hudson Card.
Hudson Card.
Was he? Where was he? Was he at USC?
He was at Michigan. No. Texas. Wasn't he?
Yeah,
he
he
lost
lost his
his
job.
Oh, he lost his job
Yeah,
to Quinn
Texas.
Ewers. Okay.
Yes, he
He's
did.
the one that lost his job to Quinn Ewers. Got it. Okay.
He lost
Well,
the
I
job
think-
to Quinn, and then
Yeah.
Quinn got hurt, so then he took it
He
back.
was the number 3 quarterback in his class when he came out of high school. So
He was good.
So he
mean-
played a bit for Texas when he
Yeah, he did.
when
Yes, he
Quinn
he
Ewers-
started the year before Quinn Ewers came there.
Oh, okay.
Not the
I
whole
completely forgot about
year.
No, him and Casey Thompson split.
that. Okay, interesting. I
He's the
mean,
reason they lost to Alabama. Just kidding.
okay, Drew. We don't know anything about. He's highly touted, obviously number 1 quarterback in the entire
His
in
class.
the entire country in
I'm
his
looking
class.
forward. I'm looking forward.
Huge
to
amount
him
of potential.
transferring.
Obviously, we'll see. We'll obviously see what he has to say.
Mhm.
Ben Bryant for Northwestern.
Prove it.
Talented
Prove
arm.
it.
Played at Cincinnati.
Has gotten better every year, so I think he's
Mm-hmm.
other than the whole shitstorm that Northwestern is,
And
at least
and
have a good quarterback.
let's be honest here. He's where he is because Northwestern is in shambles.
Probably. Wait,
Yeah.
he probably transferred there beforehand. though.
No, he did. He transferred.
No,
there
he
before.
didn't. He tried. Okay, but what I mean is, in our rankings, he is where he is because Northwestern is in shambles.
Yeah, he could be higher. Statistically,
If he-
he's definitely
If he
he's
transferred
up
to
there.
Ohio State, he'd be way.
I
up
mean,
there.
I was looking to at a lot of Big Ten quarterback rankings online, and a lot of people have him as a top 5 quarterback.
Mhm.
Like by himself, he's a top 5 quarterback right now.
Not
in the Big
us.
Ten. Not for us, but
Yeah.
I'm saying if Northwestern was a better
Like that,
team,
like his potential.
yeah,
is
his
that
potential is a top 5 quarterback in the Big Ten.
Yes.
Huh, interesting. Okay, Tanner Mordecai. We've seen he can put up ridiculous numbers. He'll have
he's
some
been
crazy
playing
games
since
for SMU.
1902.
That's true. He's the
Now, is Tanner Mordecai
He's a
going to put up
Civil
the
War
same
veteran.
gaudy numbers in a Wisconsin offense that's not Oklahoma or SMU?
I think
he-
he. I
maybe
think
not
he has. I don't think he'll put up the numbers, but I think he has potential. I think he
do
makes
better than-
Wisconsin. He makes Wisconsin a serious threat
In the Big
in the
Ten.
Big Ten
he's
compared to what
makes
they
them-
have been.
He makes
Yeah.
them the favorite in the West Division.
Is he the best Wisconsin
I think
quarterback?
Iowa probably is still the favorite, but I
That's
think
a stretch,
I
Ryan.
think Wisconsin.
He hasn't played
well,
there yet.
Your
Let
boy.
me ask this. Is he
your boy,
the best Wisconsin quarterback since Russell Wilson?
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
based on his
Just
whole
because
career,
I can't
yeah.
name another one.
Okay.
I mean, and the funny thing is, we could name more running backs than quarterbacks. I don't even know actually who Wisconsin.
Is he better
quarterback
than
is.
Graham Mertz? That's the real
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Yes, he is very much
I'm
better.
upset.
Okay,
He's
Kyle
upset.
McCord has a huge amount of pressure on him.
Okay,
honestly,
I got
because
you.
Ohio State's favorite to win.
I got this one because I put him in
conference, so.
I put him in my name, so I got this one. All right, and I'm gonna quote someone that I know, not personally. There are known unknowns and unknown unknowns, as in, we know what we don't know, but there is stuff that we don't know about. Kyle McCord is stuff that we don't know about. Okay, so we don't know. We know he can beat. Who was it? Akron.
He could beat Akron.
Good job. You can
There
beat
you
a
go.
MAC team. Fantastic.
Not just a MAC team. They were ranked the worst team in college football last year.
Oh,
even
really?
better.
Out of
Even-
That's
126 FBS schools,
133.
133.
133.
Yeah.
They were ranked 133rd.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Impressive. They're somehow worse than UMass.
He can beat them. He can beat them.
He can throw 6 touchdowns against Akron because that's what he did.
All right. So we know that he can at least have a ball leave his hand and land in someone else's.
For a touchdown.
We don't know too much else about him. He didn't play in any meaningful games. I doubt that he was under any sort of pressure from the likes of the gargantuan Akron defensive
Zips.
line.
The Akron Zips.
However,
we don't know.
Kyle McCord does have the best other hands to throw to this year, so
That's
You know
why
what
we
else
have
you
you couldn't be in a
He
better
is.
situation as a young man.
To be thrown to probably the best wide receiver
Ooh.
prospects since Randy Moss.
that's a good take right there.
That's a
But
good take.
I
you know
will
what we
say
don't know
this.
about him, Josh? That we don't even know if he'll be the starter.
yeah, that's another thing. We don't even know that he's officially going to start.
He is
That's
the
just
starter.
who we.
No,
that's
did you
just
not
who
see
they talks
the
about.
Lucas? Did you
What's
not see
the-
the article that came out from the
Yeah.
Buckeyes practice?
Do you remember when Dan Lanning was like, "We don't know who the starter's going to be" before the Georgia game?
No, Lucas, that wasn't what they said. They said they don't know who the starter is going to be because both have been average at best.
Average at best. You heard
And
it here.
Camp.
Michigan fans, get ready to eat. That's
You know
But
who can
9
make
to
an
11,
average
we'll see.
quarterback look amazing?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr., the best wide receiver in college football. I guarantee you, he will make some passes that are shitty from Kyle McCord.
he will catch.
He will make them look good.
But how
Yeah.
many
Now-
times will Kyle McCord or whoever the other guy is? I can't remember the name right now. How many times will they screw over Ohio State by throwing a pick?
We'll
That's
see.
what will be interesting.
We will see. We will
We'll
see.
see. That's why
All right,
we have
next
him
guy.
at 5. Next guy, Jeff Sims,
Sims.
who was about the only good thing that Georgia Tech had last year.
And now he has.
And now he's at Nebraska with Luke Fickell.
Luke Fickell.
Not Luke Fickell. The dude
know.
from the Panthers.
Oh, right.
Matt Rule.
Man,
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
Who's
No,
Fickell with? Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
mhm.
He's with Wisconsin. I knew he was one of them. I couldn't remember.
Oh, jeez. We're
I think
sorry,
that-
Penn fans.
I have Jeff Sims ahead of Cade McNamara personally.
I do not, because Cade McNamara went to a college football playoff, Ryan.
Okay.
and did not belong.
Yeah,
He did worse than TCU with better weapons.
he did worse than TCU.
My brother in Christ, he didn't win.
Worse?
Worse.
65-7? Worse.
Worse.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He didn't.
Oregon might not even beat Portland State that bad in week 1.
kick more than a field goal, buddy.
65-7?
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Lucas, if
Wait,
Oregon
oh, wait,
doesn't
he was
beat
the
Florida
starter- he-
State by 80 points,
so he-
then what are you doing?
Okay. So Jeff Sims. Let's get back to Sims. So
Let's go back to
How-
Sims.
Holy
do we
moly.
think Matt Rule will do what he
I
did with
agree.
Baylor and
I
and
agree,
take
Phil.
him and make Nebraska better? What?
Phil,
Will they be better? Not this year.
Really?
I
You think
yeah.
Nebraska's going to be a real player this year?
I
I don't think so, because they need at least 1 or 2 of Matt Rule's recruiting classes, because he's got some really good recruiting classes coming in, but I think he needs like 1 or 2 recruiting cycles, and then they're going to be legit. But
I think
As of right now,
Nebraska. I think Nebraska's a dead program.
So, really quick, guys, before we go any further, I wanted to do this because I thought this would be kind of interesting to do from week to week.
are you coming out?
What? No. No. So, anyway, we have I feel like we should do our This Man Was a Bona Fide Scrub Award
Oh boy.
for each conference, and then we should do
Oh boy.
that-
We need
That's
we need
Every
we need to
week?
each
yes.
no. That's
No,
what we
just
need.
for this,
No,
the quarterback rankings.
Okay.
no. You having that? You mentioned that makes me think we need to suggest. You know how we have like our stunners and bummers.
Bummers.
We then need to. We have a stunner, and then each week we need to have our bona fide scrub. This man was bona fide scrub.
It would be
award.
our come on man. segment.
worst of all of our bummers. The worst of our bummers is our.
Oh, we should do like but it should be like a play. So it's like,
What
come
do
on,
you
man.
guys think?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like
we
that's
did.
a terrible
Hey,
play.
Phil,
That's
what you
awesome.
think, buddy?
The
So-
one guy
I like
watching.
that. Yeah.
So who are
Ryan,
we
need
voting
to-
in the Big Ten? Real quick, who are we voting in the Big Ten quarterback that is the bona fide scrub?
I mean,
bona
who
fide
is
scrub.
it like who we
It's-
think is going to end up being the worst?
Yes.
Yo, I got this. Hold on.
I got it.
I got it. Let me find him. Almost there. Getting close. Good Lord. Hold on. Noah Kim. Noah Kim's
Kim?
going to be a scrub.
Noah Kim.
Noah
think
Kim's
I-
going to be a scrub.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
I'm not going to say he can't play. I'm just going to say where he is, what he's done so far, which is nothing.
I'm not going to agree because you've already said it, but continue.
Okay.
That's terrible.
I think that's.
That's terrible. Tell him,
I
Charles.
think that's. I think that's right, but I definitely think what we should do is each of our stunners. No, you're right. Bonafide scrub. We need to suggest a play to Ryan or something, and he needs to find them or something and play them for us on Twitter. We get to decide.
We all have to
this
pick.
work.
We all have to pick our worst play of the week. Oh, I love that idea.
That is actually fantastic. All right. So
next
All
quarterback.
right, so I'm gonna go
Lucas,
with.
You actually not want? Lucas, do you not actually want to do that though?
No, let's do it.
What?
But let's move on to the next quarterback. The people are waiting.
Okay, Cade McNamara.
Cade McNamara.
Cade
Boy,
McNamara.
howdy. Only reason why I don't have him above third on this list, he's at Iowa. That's it.
And because
I mean, what's his? Actually, what
Ryan
was his?
Ryan and Connor
he was.
have a hold on for two.
No, only I have a hard out for Tualia, but Cade
No.
McNamara.
I
Tualia had
shared
way
the
better numbers
Tualia.
than Cade last year. Oh, you agree too? Wait, no, Cade. Did Cade play at all last year?
He's
No,
actually, hold on. Here we go.
He didn't play at all. He only had
I
180
agree.
yards passing.
He played in
agree.
three.
Last
he went-
23
I just think
Yeah. Oh, right, because
He's
Michigan
number
was doing
three.
that thing where they would bring in. Oh, right, no, they were doing that in 2021 where they bring in McCarthy when Cade was starting. They bring in McCarthy
Hey.
on the ball.
Hey, think about this though. Think about this. Iowa's starch defense compared with an adequate offense. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
dude,
they're
if
gonna
their
score
offense-
17 points, but you're not gonna get there.
if their offense is any good, then they're going to be dangerous. I mean, Cade, if you look at his I know that he was at Michigan and they were on the come up the last couple of years, but he doesn't lose games. I mean, he's lost 4 games in the what is that? 14
2020.
18 games he's played, so he's 14-4 as a starter.
That's
in-
not bad.
in college football. I mean, that's pretty impressive. His only losses were to number 8, Michigan State, obviously Georgia, which was a 34-11 game, by the way, not worse than TCU.
With a garbage time touchdown.
And you know what? Believe it or not, Cade McNamara was not the one that cost Michigan that game against Michigan State. You don't want to take a guess who that was?
JJ
JJ McCarthy with the 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Because that's when Michigan was being stupid and bringing in J.J. McCarthy on random plays to run the ball, and he fumbled it. Because that's what
Twice.
happened, right? He
Twice.
fumbled it twice.
Tried to run the
Michigan, and then
Wildcat
Michigan
and they
State
couldn't.
took it, and then Michigan State took it, and Kenneth Walker just shoved it down their throats and got a touchdown out of it, both times.
Yeah.
That was Kenneth Walker's coming out party game, right? The one I'm thinking of.
Right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
I
is.
think
Kenneth
it's-
Walker went fucking
Okay.
crazy that game.
Didn't he
Next
have
go.
Yeah.
5 touchdown runs or something like that?
I just
Yeah,
think
he had 5 for 200 yards.
Oh, I was about to. Yeah.
Directly to that.
He was feeling bad for the Michigan State defense. He just wanted to spread the
Yeah.
love. He didn't want to make JJ feel that bad. He wanted to spread the blame around. But I think
Hey, I don't like the stigma that interceptions get. All right, a completion is a completion.
that should count towards your completion percentage.
No, that's fair, dude. Brett Favre's first pass was a touchdown in the NFL.
Oh,
I truly think that the only time interceptions shouldn't count for quarterbacks is when it goes straight through the receiver's hands into a defender,
or if it's
tipped. The receiver's hands. Or it's tipped. Yeah, that's not their fault. That's absolutely not their fault. That's just a good defensive play.
There you go, Phil. Yes, sir.
There you go, Phil. He's happy.
Yes, sir. Hashtag completions are completions.
Tualia, I mean,
Josh, I'm going to start, like, anytime you say something that's, like, soundbite worthy, I'm just going to cut that up and put it into the soundbite.
I love it. We need it. We need it so bad.
We need some sound bites. We need some more sound bites. Tualia, he is Maryland's all-time best passer. In terms of career yardage, passing yardage in a season.
Yep.
And I think he took them to an 8-5 season last year. I think that he makes.
Can you imagine if he had like Dante Demas back for this year? How good that
would be. And no, I will stand by that. If Demas and what's his name, Raheem Jarrett, who were both
all stayed healthy.
Jarrett was a 5-star recruit. If all those guys plus there was another guy who kept getting injured. No, not Tualia. Tualia got injured, but I'm talking about there was another receiver. I'm completely blanking on his name.
Oh boy.
But like Maryland got hurt. The injury bug that the quarterback position at Maryland has endured is like infamous. Like there was I think 2017, right before the whole Jordan McNair. Right before the whole Jordan McNair stuff, there was one season they had a former linebacker starting. He was like their 5th quarterback of the season. He was like a backup linebacker who'd also played quarterback in high school. All the quarterbacks got so injured that he was starting for the Big Ten.
Well, how many times have we watched, like Connor? How many times have we watched Maryland play a close game against Michigan or Ohio State, and their starting quarterback or their starting receiver or their starting running back gets injured?
We've seen it a bit. Other than that Anthony McFarland game where he actually ran over Ohio State and Maryland just missed a 2-point conversion attempt to win the game.
Maryland has never played Ohio State or Michigan completely healthy, like ever.
That sounds like a training facility problem. Get better.
Well, there was that whole thing with the Jordan McNair stuff.
Well, what about the hit? Remember the hit that Michigan had on Talia last year and should have been called was targeting, and it wasn't called?
No, it shouldn't have.
Yes, it should have.
It was fine.
It wasn't called targeting.
It wasn't called, and they lost. GG's.
GG.
RIP. RIP to the boys.
We're just gonna kill Talia any chance we get.
Talia turned the ball over. Well, if he wasn't the size of my daughter, then maybe it wouldn't be an issue. But he's a bona fide midget.
He can't play.
He can't play.
He's a bona fide
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
He certainly can play.
He's bona fide midget.
That's terrible.
I honestly tell him, Charles. I honestly think that he's number 2. I can't comfortably put anyone over him because of how he's performed where he's been.
You know what's crazy? He's the second best quarterback in the Big Ten, but Maryland will not ever sniff a Big Ten championship.
He's the second best quarterback in the Big Ten, and he wouldn't sniff like the top 7 in the Pac-12. Yeah.
No, I'm saying like in general, like he's that good of a quarterback.
I don't even think JJ McCarthy would be top 5 in the Pac-12, and I'm saying that. I'm saying that genuinely out of.
I can't wait for Phil to come on. Phil's about to come in here and get on your ass.
The Pac-12 is about to have the best quarterback. It's going to be the best quarterback conference we've ever seen.
I'm not going to doubt that. No doubt from me.
Is it
100%?
Who else is? What is there? Is it Jalen
Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix? You've got the returning Heisman winner, Caleb Williams. Help me out there.
You got 5-star Dante Moore. I think he's going to be extremely good.
All right,
you got DJ.
We're going to be talking about that.
Oh yeah,
we're going to be talking.
Guys, we got to get to the Colorado news.
Yeah, we're gonna make
All right.
Let's talk about JJ McCarthy.
Actually,
but
no.
Top two, and he's not two. JJ McCarthy.
Top two, and he's not two.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right, baby.
I think in a straight head-to-head, all things even, I don't even think he's the best actual quarterback.
Is he going to throw for more numbers than anyone else here?
Yeah, because
is he going to win games because of what he does? Absolutely.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the best actual quarterback on this list is Tanner Mordecai.
And you can't stay off the weed. He ain't getting busted.
No, actually, in terms of what he's actually done, I think in terms of what he's done, it probably is Mordecai.
Statistically, it's Mordecai for sure.
By the way, real quick, I'm going to say this right now. For all the Michigan fans watching, the Week Zero podcast wants to put out there that anything that Lucas says on this show does not represent the thoughts of how we feel about JJ.
He roots for Michigan, though.
They're my number 2 team. If it's not Oregon, it's Michigan. Like, I've been saying this, but I'm still saying, like, even with that, JJ McCarthy isn't as good as I could name 5 guys in the Pac-12 that are better. But I still think he's by far and away the best Big Ten quarterback.
Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
JJ McCarthy could win games because he has better rosters.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think of Kyle McCord?
He's trash.
Okay. Connor, what do you think of Kyle McCord?
I think he has the most pressure of any quarterback on this list,
Big Ten,
and
yes.
Excellent.
In the Big Ten, and I think that we're going to see how good he is when they actually play Notre Dame. I'm sorry.
I will say this: Kyle McCord will be
what
on a different team next year.
What are my thoughts about Kyle McCord? We're about to see his shit get rocked against Notre Dame on game day.
Yes, we will.
We're about to see his head drove into the turf all night, and it's going to be absolutely.
What's going to happen?
What is that?
I got one word. I got one word for Kyle McCord.
What?
Unproven. That's it.
Kyle McCrap.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do, Josh? When we see Notre Dame beat Ohio State, and we watch Kyle McCord get drug into the ground,
throw 3 interceptions, lose his starting job.
Yeah, lose his starting job. We are going to storm the field, and you guys are going to take a picture of me taking a picture with Kyle McCord.
You got to give me one of those jerseys.
Or am I going to? We're going to be
pictures. I don't think we can do that.
Dude, if you actually,
we will have a picture of Ryan getting punched.
Ryan, if you actually did that to him, I would actually lose a lot of respect for you.
No,
I was about to say, another thing, Ryan. You got to remember, he's got a helmet and pads. And
hey, you know what? Notre Dame fans did that to Clemson after we beat Clemson, and
he can get off at least one punch, and then I'll defend you, Ryan.
We'll let it.
Last of us talk about JJ. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Okay, Antoine.
Okay, sure. He's not being asked to throw, but that doesn't mean that he's actually good at when he actually throws.
I'm not. Here's my. I'm not talking crap about JJ McCarthy. Okay, I'm not talking crap about
it.
I am saying, okay, yeah, give me the full thing. Here's the deal. I'm not talking crap about JJ McCarthy. Okay, understand this, but I think he's the best. I think he's the best quarterback in the Big Ten for sure. I mean, I don't think anybody's arguing that. But is he better than Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Caleb Williams? DJ Uyunglele, I have no idea. I mean, I mean, DJU has been really good for the past couple of years, and I don't think did him any favors. I just don't understand why you're saying that he's better. What is he saying now? What is he saying?
You gotta understand. First full season last year. Didn't even get first team reps until this year? Last year.
Oh no. Anyway, last week.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now get my face off this fucking screen.
Whoa.
No, back to this one. Let's go to this one. There you go.
Okay.
We're gonna look at that crap anymore. All right, let's talk about Dan Lanning's little bros for a minute.
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
Colorado.
Or I would like to say,
this man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
Fun fact: I cannot play.
Because Colorado, it's kind of funny.
Can't play.
Colorado,
Pac-12.
Colorado has left the Big 12. Went to the Pac-12.
You mean the Pac-9?
Should have never
left the Big
12.
Okay. Anyway, guys.
My joke got buried.
One by
That
one.
was hilarious.
One by
It was
one.
not funny.
Reaction to Colorado joining the Big 12.
My reaction is
Wow.
there's not much of a reaction. Do you remember when they won anything? Because I don't remember when they won anything. You remember?
Okay, dead lady.
Do you remember?
Okay, I'm not gonna be resentful and childish about it like Lucas is, but it is interesting how it's setting off. This one move is kind of setting off all of the realignment news again that we're seeing with Florida State acting like a bunch of like a child trying to.
I feel like that's a bigger story than Colorado going to the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's throwing around its weight, thinking that it has.
It doesn't have weight.
I've seen rumors.
Yeah, exactly.
They do have weight, bro.
They do not.
Florida State is a big program.
Florida State might as well be Miami.
Yes.
Apparently at the ACC, like a gathering of the ACC teams, whenever media day was last week or the week before, some of the
They don't care about the grant of rights.
From the schools, they were all like, when Florida State officials were like whining like a bunch of children, they were just like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like they're not like Florida State. I get the feeling they're not actually going to do anything. They're just trying to get the process going, but they're not going to actually take that leap because they don't want to leave them. They don't want to be left out in the cold if the SEC or the Big 10 or the Big 12 just doesn't take them at least for next season for some reason, right? And they don't want to be left high and dry.
Let me ask you guys this.
Colorado.
Go ahead, Connor. Finish what you're saying.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know. Colorado, the whole move going from the Big 12 to the Pac-12 back to the Big 12 just shows obviously that move was totally worthless and they were not successful at all, right? And they also, now they've lost their rivalry with, Nebraska that they have. At least they're playing each other this year, but I mean, they're losing that. They lost that rivalry, and unless they decide to pick it up again going forward, I don't see it being, something that's going to continue. So,
let me ask you guys this: with the Big 12 and adding Colorado, obviously that means they're at like 15 teams, I believe now.
Yeah.
What team do you think they add to make it to 16? Because they're going to have to add a team to make the conference even.
I've been hearing there was news about Arizona State, and Utah. That's what I've been hearing too.
How weird would it be for the super conferences to, instead of 2, you have 3? Like say the Big 12 eats up
probably going to be 3.
Eats up the ACC. That maybe the ACC splits up between the Big 10, SEC, and Big 12.
Yeah. From what I'm seeing, Florida State, Clemson, UW, and Oregon are all trying to make the move to the Big 10.
The thing is, though, and I didn't see a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, it's a Big 10.
What I don't see a lot of people talking about is that, to join the Big 10, one of the qualifications is you have to be an AAU certified school. Clemson and Florida State are not AAU certified schools. The only schools in the ACC that are AAU certified right now is North Carolina and Georgia Tech. So I don't even know how that works. I don't know how fast they can get AAU certified. Notre Dame, I believe, just got AAU certified this year.
Almost like they're going to be joining the Big 10.
Yeah, well, the thing came out today. I sent it in the group chat that, according to Pete Thamel of The Athletic, that any future moves with the Big 10 or SEC is not going to affect Notre Dame's view on being
likely going to.
Yeah, not likely to.
Well, Ryan, the way I see it is, there was this whole thing when Louisville and Pitt were being added to the ACC, and everyone was like, "Oh, it should be West Virginia should also join, right? Or it should be West Virginia instead of Louisville or something, right?" And they said, the ACC gave some BS reason saying, "Oh, they're not going to accept West Virginia because of the academics." And Louisville has always been consistently ranked worse academically than West Virginia. So teams are, if the Big Ten is going to be able to get these teams, Clemson, Florida State, UW, Oregon, why would they not just accept them instead of just giving them some arbitrary reason? They might use it.
They can't accept them until it's like their own rule that they said they can't accept them if they're not AAU certified. That's just how it is. Any team that has joined the Big Ten,
they can change that if they want.
But they haven't.
Just change it or not uphold it if they wanted to.
But the big thing I also seen is like with the ACC contract that Clemson and FSU would have to pay to get bought out of their,
which
ACC.
FSU says is not a concern to them.
Yeah, well, the Big Ten I believe is offered to pay the money to be able to get them out of the ACC,
which is ridiculous, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it is ridiculous.
You're going to tell me that Florida State belongs in the Big Ten?
They don't.
I think you're Florida State. I think you're Florida State. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really shit talk, but I don't agree with it. I think Florida State is a big time program, and they have been for a really long time. And I think that adding them is almost more than adding a team like Clemson, in my opinion.
They haven't been relevant
until this past year
in like 10 years.
Let me ask you this real quick.
They just won a national championship
in 2012,
10 years ago. I mean,
no, but that's what we're saying. Okay. Like the drop off they've had before this past season was dramatic.
They were losing to Jackson State back-to-back years.
Jackson State.
There's a difference between a drop off that Virginia Tech had from the Blue.
But I think what Lucas is saying,
anything.
Connor,
but what I'm saying is they still won a national championship 10 years. How many teams?
And how many teams? Mississippi State, LSU,
Mississippi State. What about Mississippi
2014,
State?
2014, they won a championship then.
I think he's just talking about championships in other sports. I think is what you're talking about, right?
No, he's talking
about in football.
Right?
Mississippi State won the SEC title, right?
Mississippi State?
2014.
Mississippi State didn't win a national championship.
Oh,
did I miss something?
What 2014 was Ohio State.
My bad. Oh yeah, because that was the first year for the playoffs.
I believe Mississippi State won. They won the SEC, I believe, that year, or maybe
they still didn't even win the SEC. They were like number 1 in the country, and then they lost 6.
Oh no, that's what it was. They were number 1 in the country when the first playoff rankings came out. When
that's gonna be a trivia question in 2 decades from now. What team was the first number 1 ranked team in the first ever college football power rankings? And it's gonna be Mississippi State.
But I mean, I don't know. I think Florida State's a little bit better than.
We're just talking about it. We're not. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, we respect Ohio State because they're always extremely good.
Well, they actually have a title.
Good.
Real quick,
you can't not respect Ohio State right now just because Michigan won 2 in a row. I like Michigan, but bro, I mean, come on. Just because they won 2 in a row does not negate the fact that Ohio State won 8 in a row or some shit like that. Like, I mean, come on, bro. You sound like an Oregon State or a UW fan.
I mean,
and they've actually won a national championship.
To your point,
decade.
Notre Dame fans were asked, there was a big poll on Twitter, who would you rather beat, Ohio State, USC, or Clemson if you had to pick one?
USC.
Everybody picked Ohio State, even though USC is our rival. You know why? Because in Ohio State, it means more for Notre Dame to beat a team like Ohio State than it does USC or Clemson.
That is true. I mean, I think USC is going to be a bigger game, but
but I'm talking about who would you rather beat?
I think FSU has the same amount of pull as Clemson, or has the same amount of notoriety as LSU.
What about Clemson's fall off? What have they done?
Okay, they lost 2 games in the regular season last year.
And the Browns
that's their fall
are
off.
in mid-season fashion already. They missed a field goal.
Yeah, they shanked hard. So
they shanked the
what?
field goal hard.
What was it? 2016 was their last champion? No, 2018, right? 2018.
Are we talking?
Was the last championship for Clemson?
2018, yeah, because that was T-Law when they embarrassed Alabama. I remember watching.
Okay, and they have no history.
But Clemson's fall off is still 10-win seasons. Right, I'm not wrong about that. Clemson's fall off is still 10-win seasons. Florida State's fall off was losing to Jackson State.
Really quick, because I wanted to ask Lucas this, because you're a Pac-12 guy. Do you think that a potential move for Oregon and Washington to the Big Ten, and the ramifications of that for the Pac-12 conference? You're a Pac-12 guy. Pac-12 championships mean a lot in the history of Oregon, as well as Rose Bowl victories. Do you think that ruins college football? And for you, at least, I mean, how do you think that affects the Pac-12? If it goes away.
As far as like competing for national championships, I am 100% up for this move to the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is because we're only going to have 4 away games if we go to the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
USC and UCLA are only going to have 4 away games because of the time difference and the distance. They're only going to have four away games in their first season of the Big Ten. So, with that being said, I am totally for that. I want less away games, obviously, if because we win all those games. But with the Rose Bowl, it definitely sucks. And I don't know how they're going to do bowl tie-ins moving forward with these big bowl games and these conferences being the way that they are. I don't know if they're still going to have the Rose Bowl being, the Pac-12, because I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't think the Pac-12 is done.
Do you think that they add teams like a San Diego State, Boise State, Utah State, Fresno?
Well, San Diego State just told them how much they're staying, if I remember correctly. So they're staying and not leaving the Pac-12.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
I mean,
I do think they're going to add some teams. I think the Mountain West is going to turn into the Big 12 or the Pac-12.
What do you think the Pac-12 Do you think that because I've seen a lot of people
the Pac-12 very much will work.
I've seen people say online that the Pac-12 life is dependent on, like, if Oregon and Washington leave, it all comes down to what happens with Utah. Because Utah right now is the only brand outside of Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA that is keeping.
Because there's no other good teams.
So, do you think that the Pac-12 would? I mean, Lucas, do you think the Pac-12 would try to come up with a big offer or something to entice Utah to stay in the Pac-12?
Well, they already have their deal, and that's the reason why Florida State is leaving.
I think they would more so look for other teams outside of it.
Like, name some teams that you think would be able to fill that void. I know Boise State's big.
Well, there's no teams that are going to be able to fill the void of the 4 teams that you mentioned. I mean, there's no teams on the West Coast that are even close to the 4 teams that you just mentioned. But I do think, adding Boise State, adding a Fresno State, keeping kind of like the Pac-12 after dark kind of a deal, kind of like that aesthetic of college football, I think is important to keep, especially for West Coast people that, that live over here and we're able to stay up and watch college football until 12 a.m. I have it's weird because I feel like they're kind of trying to get away from that because kids, like you look at Christian McCaffrey, for instance, he said that he didn't get the Heisman votes because people on the West Coast didn't stay up late enough to watch his games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, on the East Coast. I think that comes into it. I think that's a huge part of the Pac-12 kind of disbanding is because, I mean, these really high talented kids aren't getting seen as much on the East Coast, and the East Coast matters more than, anything in sports in the sports world, I would say. So, I think that goes into it. They're trying to get rid of football on the West Coast, in my opinion. I really think. I'm serious.
what happens if Stanford? Because there's been rumors about Stanford and Cal leaving too.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think the Pac-12 to stay alive has like enough teams that they can hit up and say, "Hey, come to the Pac-12"? That
the entire
I'm thinking
Mountain
about
West.
like this now. Like, this is where I come from. This like if I'm Boise State, right? I'm in the
Mountain
West, and I'm a top two, maybe three at the least team every year. Mm-hmm. And with the new, rules now for the playoff, the best conference or group of 5 champion gets a spot. So if I'm Boise State, why would I go to a tougher conference, in the Pac-12 when I could stay in the Mountain West, especially if like a Fresno State does leave or a Utah State does leave, and I'm guaranteed to be 12.
I can answer that. I can answer that pretty easily. And it's because you could end up in a situation where, say, you go 13-0, or you go 12-1 and win the Mountain West, but then you have Tulane that does the same exact thing. But say they decided to schedule a really good team on their schedule and they end up beating them, but you didn't have that on your schedule. You may think you're a better team, or you may have had the opportunity to go to the college football playoff if you had been in a bigger conference. But now you're not, and now you're competing with Tulane. And then, like I said, Tulane might have had a tougher schedule or whatever, and now they get that spot and you don't. You know what I mean? So I think that goes into that with the group of 5. Mm-hmm. Whereas, if they were in the Pac-12 and they went 12-1 compared to a 13-0 Tulane, you're taking the Pac-12 champion over that Tulane team.
Yeah, the thing I was talking about was more like, I think if I remember correctly, you can tell me if I'm wrong, Lucas. I think hasn't the Pac-12 been after Boise State for a while?
Wrong.
It's just always been a thing that people are like, it makes the most sense.
But Boise State's always.
I like how Josh
I know.
I feel
Boise
like you do that on purpose.
But like Boise State is
all the way over here.
But Boise State has always seemed like they've been content, kind of like what San Diego State said, that they're not going to join the Pac-12.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I don't think there's ever been really we're gonna go after them, or I think all the fans. I think the fans are just like, well, it makes the most sense. I mean, Boise State beats the hell out of Pac-12 teams like every year. I feel like, so why would we not put them in the conference and see what they can do?
Do you think that's enough to keep the conference afloat, though? Adding teams like Boise State, Fresno, Utah State.
I do. I mean, I think it'll bring recruits with that Pac-12 patch on your jersey. I think it's going to bring in recruits just for that alone.
Kind of like what UCF's doing now, recruiting. Like they're hot on the recruiting trail because now they're in the Big 12.
And then you think about it this way too for Utah. It's like, I mean, basically what you just said about Boise State. It's like, well, now the 4 other best teams in the Pac-12 are gone. Like,
and you know what? Utah could go on. They could go on a 5 to 10 year back-to-back Pac-12.
Yeah, something like that. I think if the thing with Utah is that I don't think the Big 12, they already have BYU, so I don't think they're going to try and go for Utah. Yeah. They don't need the Utah market really. So, I think.
Oh wow.
I
didn't expect that to post as us. Okie dokie.
But anyway, quick. I also want to know before we get out of here, what do you guys think? How does this affect Notre Dame?
Hold on. I'm taking credit for that. I typed that. That was me.
The Pac-9 will survive this. But anyway, how do you guys think this affects Notre Dame?
It's gonna force their hand, man.
And they're gonna. Unfortunately, it really will be interesting to see what they do. Because honestly, the main reason they do. Because the reason they didn't want to leave and join like the Big Ten or the ACC right now was because they want more money with that NBC deal, right? And so that's causing problems, I'm sure. But if that happens, where maybe the Big Ten gets Florida State, Clemson, Oregon, and UW, that will force their hand. Or maybe the ACC is like, sure, we'll give you more money to come join us.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Notre Dame being independent has no benefit to Notre Dame right now. None whatsoever. I think they need to get. I think they need to get while the getting's good, and get into a conference, or else they're going to be looking at a 12-team playoff, sitting on the outside, saying, "Why aren't we there?"
And then the two guaranteed non-conference teams that play every year is dependent, unless they go into the Big Ten and then they get the USC game every year. The guaranteed game every year is Notre Dame, is Navy, and
Well, no, what happens is
and Ohio State, man, wants all the Infinity Stones. Okay.
But Josh, like what I've seen is also online is that there's rumors that if Oregon, Washington, Florida State, and Clemson join the Big Ten, that those schedules will be so loaded that because USC, how they have it set up was they'll be able to pick their non-con games, and they have very limited slots for that. Do you think USC, with a fully loaded schedule that's already going to be tough enough,
is going
to want to schedule a non-con Notre Dame game?
Probably not. They'll probably want at least one cupcake.
Probably not.
And so that hurts Notre Dame.
Notre Dame has the disadvantage of not being in a conference. You're not guaranteed to play these teams, right? Yep. So further on down the road, let's say, I don't.
And then you also, real quick, before you continue, also Notre Dame has that deal with the ACC where they got to play 6 ACC teams a year.
Yes. What happens when the ACC? If it does, I don't think it will. But what happens if the ACC possibly gets downgraded or loses a bunch of their good teams? Like, what are you going to tell? Like, hey, darn it, we play Wake Forest every single year. Like, what's the point?
And like every other year, Notre Dame plays Clemson and Florida State. If Clemson and Florida State are gone, who's the best team Notre Dame plays? Maybe North Carolina, maybe
Boston College.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, as a Notre Dame fan, I think this
Pittsburgh.
I think this is like Notre Dame. You have to join a conference. Now, Notre Dame's response to this so far,
absolutely.
We're happy with where we are.
Well, Notre Dame's response, I think, just to keep everyone happy, especially NBC, should be, mum's the word. We're not going to talk about it. But instead their response was, well, there's never been a better time for Notre Dame to be independent. Can we stop talking about these conferences with their numbers because there's not 10 teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but real quick,
there's not 12 teams.
Last thing,
but there's only 10 relevant teams.
Last thing before we get out of here, what do you think this puts more pressure on? Do you think that as this goes on, the longer Notre Dame stays independent, that it's going to put more pressure on the SEC and Big Ten to kind of get in a bidding war for them? Or do you think that
they're not going to the SEC? No, you're talking about.
Well, the SEC wants Notre Dame.
Not what Notre Dame.
SEC does. They do.
No, they don't.
They have been.
Where are you seeing
they will take Clemson and
FSU. You guys don't understand. When they were negotiating the 12-team playoff, the SEC was the only the SEC and I believe it was the Big 12 or no, the ACC. The SEC and the ACC were the only two conferences that were negotiating against keeping Notre Dame out of the playoff for not being in a conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were
they were trying to force it to make Notre Dame join a conference.
No, the SEC was opposed to it. They wanted
what you're talking about is the other conferences were trying to force Notre Dame.
They want them to join a conference, but the SEC was doing it to kind of get in good faith with Notre Dame, so that hey, like we're the only reason you guys.
We're going to bar you from playoffs to get on your good side.
No, he's saying the opposite, Josh. He's saying the opposite. They want them in the playoffs. They want them in the playoffs, even if they're not in the conference, so they can beat the shit out of them every year.
That is an easy dub.
And the ACC was kind of the opposite because the ACC, they're there because they want Notre Dame to join them, so they're going to do anything to make Notre Dame happy, basically. The Big Ten was on the other opposite. They're like, okay, if Notre Dame's not going to join a conference, they shouldn't be allowed in the playoff. They're doing that because they want Notre Dame to join a conference, the Big Ten. Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that this puts more pressure on them to get Notre Dame? Because they're like the last big brand left that's not.
Puts more pressure on
a conference?
Any conference. Because now you look at the Big Ten.
Big brand?
Go ahead, Lucas.
Sorry.
You look at the Big Ten right now, they don't. I honestly believe that they do not they care more about getting Oregon and Washington right now than they care about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that.
The only reason why I think Notre Dame to Big Ten makes sense is because Notre Dame fits geographically, which the Big Ten does not care about geography.
Clearly, they do not care at all.
I mean, and if the Big Ten gets Stanford, every Notre Dame rival will be playing in the Big Ten, with the exception of Navy and Boston College.
If we can get a Notre Dame freaking Michigan rivalry every year, I'll be happy.
You know what I think it is, though, and this is gonna sound weird coming from a Notre Dame fan. I think Notre Dame's scared to join the Big Ten, like
they
as
are
a conference, because
they have been.
because they would lose. They would probably not win. There'd be plenty of seasons where they would not hit double-digit wins because Michigan, Ohio State, USC, like the schedule makers would probably make it to where
it'll be very rare for a lot of teams that usually are used to getting 10+ wins to get 10+
Oh yeah,
wins.
Yes.
No, I agree.
Absolutely.
I mean,
but
do you guys think
that scares Notre Dame more?
Do you think that we will see teams like this is weird, but if we have a super conference, say with like the SEC with 30 teams, Big Ten with 30 teams,
Jesus.
Do you think we could see a 9-3 or 8-4 conference champion?
Here's the thing.
I don't think
with conferences that big, they can't play everybody every year.
No,
there will be undefeated teams.
That you're just
You
going to
think there will be undefeated teams?
There will still be undefeated teams.
There's going to be a team. There's going to be like a USC that gets scheduled like Rutgers, Wake Forest,
Indiana.
Like they're somehow they're going to have like Ohio State. They're going to have Ohio State, and then they're going to have like.
I got a good example of this. Actually, The Louisville Cardinals don't play FSU. They do not play Clemson. The only only two teams this year. Only two teams that they play that they're probably going to lose to Notre Dame and Kentucky.
Oh.
They don't play North Carolina.
What?
Dude.
So they could go 10-2. Like
they could go 10-2.
They probably could. That'd be hilarious.
That's insane.
That's nuts, right?
But do you think that the Big Ten would allow that? Like the Big Ten's like, dude, we got like all these good teams.
Okay.
Like,
you know what, Ryan? What would happen if a conference is that large, where it's 30 teams? Is there would not be any non-conference schedules. You would have
that's what I'm saying.
Conference games.
They would all play.
You would only be able to play your conference.
Do you guys genuinely think
you wouldn't be able to have a Texas versus Alabama because they're not.
NCAA would not allow that.
My question, real quick. My question is: do you think we will ever see a team make the 12-team playoff, whether that be a conference champion or an at-large or like a wild card, that will have more than 2 losses? Because I think that's very possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think if they have it to where
if you have an Alabama
guys,
like say we have an Alabama that's 9-3, then they were 10-2 last year and they were already screaming.
I want you guys to hear this schedule, okay? For the Louisville Cardinals. This is just an example of how teams can like skirt through and miss certain other teams and just line up a season. At Georgia Tech, Murray State, Indiana, Boston College, at NC State versus Notre Dame, at Pitt versus Duke versus Virginia Tech versus Virginia, at Miami versus Kentucky.
I mean,
that is not a tough schedule.
If they're any good, they could realistically go 11-1. If they're any good,
they're not beating Kentucky, but
no, they only lost.
Yo, look up those scores, buddy. Look up.
I just think that rivalry games are different, dude.
Yeah, they've been. We've outscored them like 156 to like.
They said that like 2016 when Louisville was way better. Wait,
hold on, Lucas. You realize that 2016 Louisville team lost to Kentucky, right?
No, that's what he was bringing up. Yeah,
that's
what I was saying. It's like everybody was saying that same thing.
They were 34 points.
But Ryan,
tougher schedule.
That's a tougher schedule than you.
Ryan, hold on. Shut up. You don't know anything.
But Ryan,
you have
Ryan,
hold on. No. I take personal offense to this. Kentucky has a.
Oh, he got muted.
Ryan muted him. No, dude.
Fuck you, Ryan.
We need to end this.
Kentucky has a better record versus the SEC than Ohio State does. Sit down.
But they've also – how many games is that for Ohio State versus how many games Kentucky's played against the SEC? Like, that's terrible. How many games – like, that's saying like, you know, Virginia Tech has more –
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
that was nice.
We need to end this shit.
Yeah, let's end it.
Let's
end it. I'm getting mad at Ohio State fans. Let's end it.
Okay, next week – real quick, right before we end, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be back next week with the Pac-12 quarterbacks. I'm sure that'll be fun for
Lucas will have to fit because Williams will not be number one.
Do we want to do SEC before Pac-12?
Heisman Trophy winner.
I feel like we should do I feel like we actually should do SEC before and
Let's do SEC before Pac-12.
Let's do SEC. I think we need to do that. I agree.
Yes, sir.
SEC. And then we got what 6-7 weeks before we see each other.
We'll have this Ohio State fan back in the comments, and I can tell him each team that Ohio State will lose to.
Real quick, Evie, if you go follow us on the Week Zero Productions channel, please, because you are hilarious. We need you and Luke. We need you and Lucas and Josh to get into it some more. But anyway, real quick, before we get out of here, I'm going to make sure that you guys all do your team content when the season starts.
When the season starts, after week 1, I will do it.
But please go check out the.
We can do our own personal recaps of the games and our personal thoughts. That's how it will be.
Yeah, for sure. That's
how. Anyway,
can't do it in the off season. I'm not like one of these like beat writers that actually
like me.
Somebody that does it for a living.
Something out of nothing. But I really can't.
No, really quick.
I'm willing to also do Maryland and Navy if you want me to do that for more content.
Do whatever you would like, Connor.
Go ahead, Connor. You're too busy to make a tier list, but go ahead.
Connor just got off work, man. I feel for the guy.
I know.
Anyway,
on a podcast.
If you guys, if anyone who is watching, if you guys could go out and check out the college football pump up video I did on the Week Zero Productions YouTube channel. It is Lucas and Joshua Fire certified.
It really is. It's fantastic.
So please go check that out. It is Week Zero Productions on YouTube. Go check out the college football pump up. We got some other ones coming out. The Kansas State video is dropping tomorrow. The Michigan video will be dropping later this week. So please go check that out. There'll
probably be an Ohio State video for Eve. And
there will never be an Ohio State video unless they win the Big Ten.
Oh, don't do that to them. Do it for
them. Josh, real quick before we hop out of here. How many days has it been?
1,342 days since Ohio State last beat Michigan.
Oof. It'd be like that.
I hate that I'm keeping track of it. I'm not even a Michigan fan.
It's been well over 1,000 days since USC has beat Oregon, by the way.
That's terrible.
Hey, okay, it's been almost 10,000 days since Kentucky's beaten Georgia, so...
Yeah,
that's terrible.
What the hell just played?
Tell him, Charles.
Nothing just played for me, so I don't know what just.
It's Charles, man.
I'm about to leave.
Charles. Let's go. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap it up. We're having too much fun.
For Josh, for JJ McCarthy as Dan Lanning, for Ryan, I am your host Connor. This has been the Week Zero Podcast. We'll be back with the SEC quarterback rankings, and we will see you on the Week Zero Podcast.